Welcome to another episode of Full Circle with me, Onyx. And I want to say today, this episode is extra special. It's like a special episode. My channel is about helping yourself, and I kind of have a background in occult magic and psychology and astrology. And I use that to help myself. And in this special episode, we've just had that Scorpio lunar eclipse. And before that, we had that Taurus solar eclipse. During that cycle was me ending a project of connecting with my higher self and my guardian angel. And during that process and integrating and coming back to planet Earth, uh, the gift of the Phoenix has once again returned in my life. The Phoenix symbol is one that's always been in my life and also relates to the sign of Scorpio. And according to my new knowledge, Aries, the Scorpio co-rules over Aries and over Mars. And so Aries sometimes also has the gift of the Phoenix. And I've definitely feel as a creative artist and learning how to transmute negativity and learning how to create change in a positive way, the Phoenix has flown into my life and into this episode. And it just seems like a whole bunch of parts and pieces have come together to create this episode. Currently, what's going on is the war in Ukraine. And we have a tendency to think that it doesn't concern us in our everyday lives, having to go to work, raise our kids, eat our food, where our priorities are kind of basic entertainment, recover from work, recover from the lifestyle of, we call this modern living, and it's really not in alignment anymore. We've outgrown modern society. We've outgrown so many things. It's not sustainable for our agriculture, for how we gather food for ourselves, for how we 8-hour work days, 40-hour weeks, um, being paid by the hour, certain that's not sustainable. I would say on every level, with this new age Uranus in Taurus, it's ripping up the foundation. Pluto in Capricorn, it's removing things that no longer serve us in a big way uh, in establishment. And so we can use the stars to help us see what's going on and get a bigger picture symbolically. But as above, so below, as within, so without, what goes on in the stars affects our planet, affects our society, and it finally affects the individual. So it's like it echoes in and it echoes out. And so the timing is really interesting. Uh, how do we as love and light, how do we as light workers, how do we as ascended beings, how do we as spiritual beings who, uh, you know, don't want to deal with that? I don't want to grab a gun and be violent. Can we bring world peace? Can we birth this new world that Eckhart Tolle has talked about? What is this new earth? What is living in the power of now? Are these just nice things to get us through our week? How does psychology and magic come together and integrate to literally create a new human being? What is the future technology? It's consciousness, and that's what you are. So you may have missed some parts on your journey, on your new age pseudo religion, your new age love and light identity, your manifestation. the universe, or this thing that animates it all, it's a threefold being. It's consciousness, it's energy or life force. Um, yeah, I kind of so, and it's love. Love. What is love? The age of love. Was it what the hippies thought it was? Was it romantic love? Love, living in your heart center. It's being at one with all things, being in touch, and feeling a bond and a connection. That's love. It's seeing eye to eye. It's not, I see you as an other, it's, I see you as another me. Why would I not help my brother, my sister? So it's seeing globally and universally. And so we see our plants as family. We see our mineral friends, crystals as family. We see the stars as family. We see life as sacred because we're not separate from it. Well, that sounds really good, Onyx, but I'm a little bit more scientific. Can you talk about fractals and holographs? Holograms. Can you talk about that? So it's the same message. We live in a fractal type of reality, and our physical world follows a divine blueprint. A spiritual new age word would be for complicated, for this beauty of natural order is divine. What is God? It's natural order. Well, I really like numbers. I understand algorithms. And I'm like, great. You're understanding the ordering principle in our universe. When it's collective, it's like order itself births consciousness. So you can't be against order or you're against consciousness. And if you're against consciousness, you're against life. And consciousness and life bring light, which brings love. So we could talk about this in philosophical, in scientific, in mathematical terms. Sacred geometry really spells it out pretty clear in mathematical left brain symbols of the divine unity and the endless nature of energy just changing forms. Energy breaking the time and space barrier into the quantum field. So we get what are the mechanics of manifestation or magic? And it's a mathematical language. But okay, let's bring this all back because the whole point, like, so yes. So, I mean, we're going to obviously. So, I was with my friends today. Both of them are Scorpios. One is Leo Sun, Scorpio Moon, and the other one is Scorpio Sun, Leo Moon. And I spent half the day with both of them. And one is male and one is female. So the Leo Sun is male and the Scorpio Sun is female. So it was so cool to be with these yin and yang versions of the Scorpio Leo energy. And it's very special to me because my mom has Pluto conjunct the moon in Leo. So she's kind of, uh, I feel more unconsciously for her. I feel like, each chart is unique. So I think unconsciously she has that Scorpion energy and the Leo energy, but for her it's in lockdown. So in my friends out in the world, I get to associate with people who have that freed up. And so it's a deep way to connect with some hidden aspects of my mom that I don't get to experience because for her it's in lockdown. It's under wraps. It's in a secret filing cabinet, and that is her big secret. Her Scorpio Leo energy. And so, anyways, Once again, the power of the phoenix. So the phoenix is definitely a Scorpio symbol, and this phoenix is a firebird. So it definitely relates to all fire signs. All fire signs can access the power of the phoenix in some way. Fire has the ability to destroy, and through its destructive burning, it creates light and it illuminates the dark, and its life force and its warmth and its healing. So fire has a destructive, creative yin yang aspect to it. It can be seen as male and it can be seen as female, just like the phoenix and just like the scorpion energy. But the conversation that happened today, my with my female Scorpio, who's from the Ukraine, is for her, it's very, very personal. That's in her reality. For me, it's a few steps removed. I'm like, I don't exactly have family in the Ukraine that I grew up with. I just have one of my dear friends. And so your pain is somehow my pain. It's not exactly the same. But how can I, as someone who is working to change the world, as someone who inspires people and delivers knowledge, how can we use this in very simple terms to change the outcome, to manifest a new resolution with the Ukraine-Russian war? And the download is, which I've been receiving for a while, is the Ukraine has some of the best natural resources on the planet. So don't you think it concerns us to preserve the Ukraine as maybe a World Heritage Site just for its vegetation, like its flora and fauna, just for its natural, pristine land? It's like amazing. And so there's a lot of natural resources there. And when we look at all of our resources being depleted, maybe we might want to preserve that. And so I think the Ukraine is the perfect place to start the new earth. It's the perfect place for a world peace center. Why not? Let's have a world peace center. We have a White House, we have a Capitol building. Let's have a world peace center. And it might as well be the size of a whole country if it's going to be for the whole world. Through all this acceptance of gender and race and status, I think it's time as a people, as a whole planet that really can't be governed by organizations, we raise our hand and say, yeah, the Ukraine can be the world peace center. And I think it's beautiful because all its natural resources are so organic and clean and abundant that it gets to be a symbol of peace and the beauty and abundance that comes out of it. So I think it's the perfect location. And so honestly, that's what it is for me. It's the new World Peace Center. So let's talk about Eckhart Tolle. He's all about being mindful and present. When you are, and that creates being awake. When you're in your body, so yoga is to help you get in your body, to help you be mindful. It's like a moving meditation. It just so happens it has all these wonderful health benefits. Those are bonuses. So here we are present, we're in our bodies. We're in this moment, not in a story of what happened or what could happen. We're not in fear. We're here in the present moment. That's when the power drops in. So what do I do? What do I do? So spirituality kind of works backwards. It's like be, do, have. Be peace, do peaceful things, have peaceful outcomes. So non-doing is an action. You say, I willfully choose to ground. I willfully choose to put the story of war, what I know happened, I shut it down, I compartmentalize, I push it to the side. The fear of what could happen next, a nuclear war, losing all these resources, loved ones, friends, family, and just a repeat of negativity. Put that to a side. In this moment, it's where we become the authors of the global story. You're the author of your story. You should have learned this in your ascension, in your working with chakras. You should have felt empowered and go, wait, I get to choose what I say. That could change how people treat me. I can choose to think positive and new doors of abundance open. I can choose to be loving. In the I choose, you learned I write my own story. So if we say we believe in karma, we believe this situation has happened on the global scale for the world to make a choice. Do you choose peace? Do you choose empowerment? Do you choose togetherness? Well, yeah, that all sounds good. Okay. Ground it in. Now, let's use a little magic occult. The wand. The wand is a symbol of your will, and the will comes from the mind. So, eyes and the will are very connected. When you focus on something, we usually use our eyes to focus. We perceive it. So, quantum physics, everything, all possibilities are happening now. You choose the timeline reality. If we all choose it, we all move the earth into a new reality. That's the new earth. So it's almost like you're always being offered two stories, two pictures. One is like a Gotham City dark doomsday, and the other one is a beautiful, bright, happy place, maybe full of rainbows and unicorns. Who knows? Those are extremes. And in every moment, you're offered two images. You think you're only being offered one, you're always being offered two. So when you fall into fear, doubt, you're choosing a negative image, and then you have a negative experience. So you're always being offered two images. So how do we start choosing the positive, brighter image where there's love, growth, expansion, freedom? You have to align with it. So if you can't see it, you've been living in the dark Gotham City your whole life, you have to use your imagination, your mind's eye. Visualize people getting along. Visualize people connecting and understanding each other. So there is like someone writing the global story for planet Earth and humans. And it's not you. Why not? I'm giving you back your paintbrush. I'm giving you back your pen. I'm giving you back your wand. And I'm saying you're actually connected to all of it. So your vision is one of the eyes of God. So a vision of higher angels and bigger beings and God is sometimes seen as many eyes. That's everyone. God sees through our eyes. And so when you allow yourself to see, not just through your personality's eyes, the avatar, the character, but the bigger you, the timeless you, the infinite you, the divine you, when you see with your soul, when you see with your spirit, when you see with your heart, that's seen with a different pair of eyes. And you see possibility and you see options. You're like, wait a minute. All these leaders have been birthed into this world. I've been birthed into the world too. I must be just as good. There's no above or below, there's equal. Ah, now I see. So my words are just as important as a president's words or a doctor's words. Yeah. Well, then maybe I should respect myself. The way I see the world is important. What things I want are just as important. Collectively, We want peace. We want life. Humans actually always choose love. Humans choose connection. Humans choose peace. Humans that naturally choose good. Our universe is naturally good. So how come there's all this work to show us a negative image, to create harm, death, disease, pain, suffering, and slavery? There's a lot of forces that don't have any power trying to make you choose the negative image. They can't choose it for you. They could only offer it to you. It's your choice. So we align, we ground, center, breathe, let go of all the stories, the way we feel about things. We just kind of detach a little bit and just be. And now we create. So honestly, I'm telling you, what my vision for the world, what I'm speaking into reality is seers see differently than fortune tellers. A seer has a vision of what could be, and they speak that into existence, and it is so. I will it. So what I see is peace. What I see is the Ukraine being this big woe to the world. We all wake up and we choose love, we choose peace. So what I see is beautiful sunsets, lush vegetation, historic buildings, great architecture, a culture being preserved, a people, a nation, and it's beyond that. I see my family, I see my friends. These are family and friends and brothers and sisters I've never met. Just, they're there. I see them thriving. I see the future there. I see a gold light, a healing, loving, empowering, honoring, respectful gold light over the Ukraine. That's my vision. So you focus on it, you visualize it. So if you're not good at visualization, just visualize a circle. If you're really not good at visualization, find an object and just carry it with you. So you might just be more of a feeler. Go, okay, I just channel all the energy to the Ukraine. Do that every morning when you get up. And what happens is we shift from the negative image, because two images are always being offered, the black and the white together. Every time you go, no, I see a gold bubble, or every time you speak, World Peace Center, Ukraine is the World Peace Center. Visualize yourself 10 years from now going and visiting the World Peace Center in Ukraine. Visualize everyone on the news saying, the World Heritage Peace Center, the Ukraine has now opened the doors. They've cut the blue and yellow ribbon with the giant scissors. This is a step forward in humanity, technology, science, and humanity. Wow. Go, so you can have fun with it. Write the script for the whole world. And then you can learn to write the script for yourself. You may have come into this knowledge. So it's really cool. So now let's go with this story. I see little seeds, little plants. And what's happening is all these plants that have been burned in rainforests are now being planted in buildings, and they're growing, and they're from the Ukraine. They're going to go back. So there's going to be Palo Santo trees growing a little like a greenhouse. There's going to be a giant greenhouse, and these endangered plants from South America, from Africa, from the Caribbean, these historical trees, they're going to be grown, and they're going to be sent and planted in their own countries to help recreate. They're going to recreate healthy topsoil, which is a big factor in how we're going to sustain ourselves. It's beautiful. I see peace talks, peace leaders, peace conferences. I see the Ukraine people with all their strength and their fortitude stand up for peace and become spiritual warriors. So now that I've seen it with my creative imagination, I've wrote the script and I've spoke it out. I've now delivered it to the world. Those words are forms. This is magic. This is high occult. I pulled it from possibility with my mind's eye. The will is the wand. I had the desire and the inspiration, but I also had the focus, the eyes focus. So you can look in the direction of the Ukraine. You can vision it. You're focusing, and that's how you choose the other picture. Your eyes literally see both images, and you, every time you do the ritual, boom, boom, boom. There it is. Will, it's done. You can speak it into form. So here we are, love and light, right? Why do we work with our heart chakra? So our higher self can root in. Now that it has an established a place in your being, now that you're eating right and clean, your body is a temple. You're doing maybe your yoga and your chakra breathing. That was to prepare your body for your higher energy, your creator energy. So in a non-spiritual way, I'm not really new age. I'm not really into magic. I'm an artist. I'm a creative person. I'm a genius. Great. That was the same thing. When people connect to that creative flow, some people go, oh, I realize that's a part of me. I call it my higher self. Other people go, that creative energy shows up in beautiful visions of an angel, of a soulmate, a creator God, an Olympian God. And it shows up for them. For me, it just shows up as energy. And then it enlivens me. Bright ideas, wisdom, intuition, psychic abilities, magic powers. I'm just tapping your God-given right to co-create. We live in a living, creative universe. All there is life. All there is, and it's changing forms. It's always in transformation. The symbol of transformation, the phoenix. So what looks negative is an invitation to use your spiritual powers. What is the dark? It's not evil, it's the absence of light. What light is absence? Consciousness and awareness. Buddha is a symbol of being conscious and aware, waking up from the illusion, the dream, the nightmare, the matrix, the black image versus the white image, you know? I awaken and realize the way I see things matter. Einstein, relativity, quantum physics. We learned that if you witness an experiment, you alter the experiment. Your very awareness, your very consciousness is actually interacting. So there is no purely sterile environment. There's no neutrality because you are there. So you have an effect on particles. So that means you have the ability to do magic. You have the ability to create change. Your wand is vibrating. You're there. All you have to do is learn to focus it. And it's with your eyes and vision. So a really great story, hopefully the video won't cut out, is two hunters come to the shaman and they say, where's the good hunting ground? And, the shaman takes one of them into the hut and says, oh, there's a small hunting ground over there and there's two you can kill. Great, he goes off. The other warrior comes into the hut and he says, oh, there's a large herd over there. You can kill 5 of them. And then they come back and they go, how come you told me 2 and how come you told me 5? And it was based upon their personal vision, what they believed they could get. That's what the shaman saw and reflected those truths back to him. So ultimately, it was up to you to see, and then that became the reality. So the eyes and the wand aren't separate. You just have to learn to focus. And that's why screens and being controlled by media is so important. Your five senses, that's the awareness. And you dial into negativity as entertainment, you're going to end up having a negative experience. You start saying, no, I don't want that. But the world isn't offering me good. That's what your imagination is. You're adding cards to the tarot deck. You're adding new scripts. You get to now take the wand and rewrite. So they say, the reader says, you're doomed to have a breakup. You go, pause. That's being in the present moment. You push the pause button, edit, and we get back together with a new opportunity to have to see ourselves better and fall deeper and deeper in love. Boom. But you have to see it. So manifestation is about focus and seeing. And you have to believe. You have to be open to it. So meditation helps you clear the mind so it can be the temple of God. The yoga and the eating clean so your body could be the temple of God. You are an instrument of divine power, creativity. And so that's what doing the inner work is. That's what spirituality is about. That's the difference between religion and spirituality. Religion goes, we honor people who've done the inner work. Spirituality says, great, now you do it. By Buddha, by Jesus. You have all that power too. Jesus said, you can perform miracles greater than me. So he was seeing from an eye of possibility, from the quantum level. He was in his heart living at the quantum level. He took the paintbrush out of God's hand and wrote a script for himself and wrote a script for us. And all you have to do is agree to it. So another shaman tip is our world is held together with agreements. Once again, I'm holding the black and the white. Someone tells you a negative story. If you agree to it, you've signed up for it on the dotted line. But if you say, no, I choose this other path, you've agreed to that, and then you experience it. So manifestation and karma is very simple. By thought, by word, and deed, you create. By thought and word and deed, you experience your creations called your life. So let's rewrite the script. Let's empower ourselves. Join me and start saying and share it with others. The World Peace Center is the Ukraine. Visualize it in your heart. Your heart has an eye to see.